Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Claire. How many of you as business owners make it a point to laugh every day? Or how many of you get mad at your employees for laughing too loud or having a good time at work? Well, did you know that laughter at work is one of the best ways to develop creative thinking? Did you know that employees who enjoy their work environment are more loyal to the company, creating much less turnover? And did you know happy employees call in sick less? Aren't those big contributors to your company's productivity and profitability? Maybe you should be looking just as much at the laugh lines on your employees' faces as you do to the bottom line of your P&L statement. On this next episode of Coffee with Claire, join me and my next guest, public speaker and author Joel Zeff, as we discover why Joel has made it his mission to remind corporations that fun and passion are pathways to success. His interactive, playful approach to keynote speaking has allowed him to differentiate himself from the death by PowerPoint approach you get from so many keynotes. Stay tuned to learn more about his take on speaking, teamwork, and leadership viewed through the lens of mindful playfulness. Hi, and welcome to Coffee with Claire. And welcome back to all of our loyal listeners and viewers. And you know, we always love to have people who are entrepreneurs, people who give back to the community, and people who like to have fun. And so I present to you Joel Zeff.
Hello.
Keynote speaker, author, and of course, entrepreneur. So welcome, Jeff. Joel?
Wow, already.
Jeff. You know what? I married your first and last name.
It happens quite a bit.
Does it?
I wasn't expecting it on the interview, but sure, it does happen.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll just suck it back up and
It's
say,
nice to be here.
welcome, Joel Zeff.
It's very nice to be here, Cindy.
I'm Claudia. You call me George.
Anything.
So, you know, Joel and I met a long time ago. It was
Back when I was Jeff.
Yeah.
Is when we met. Years ago, before I changed my name. That was a good time.
I totally deserve all of that. So back in the day when Joel and I met, it was 1998, and I was a member of a team at Fast Signs International, and we had this amazing convention that Joel opened, and it was so fun to have this high energy keynote speaker to get us started off. We had a Olympic theme, and he really, incorporated the theme into the conversation. But the thing that really struck me was like, oh my gosh, the audience is engaged this entire time. I mean, usually in 5 minutes into a keynote, everybody's checking their phone. Well, or Blackberries back then, or
I'm not
or
sure
sleeping,
what it was.
or because the big parties the night before or whatever. But you kept everyone totally engaged. And I was just so incredibly impressed with that.
Well, thank you.
Oh,
That's
you're welcome.
what I do.
So you started your company back in 1994. How did you get started with everything?
Well, I actually have a journalism degree. I moved to Dallas to be a newspaper reporter. So I worked for one of the papers that is no longer here. And then when that paper closed, I went into advertising, PR, marketing, worked for a couple agencies. And at the same time, I started doing improv comedy at a theater in downtown Dallas. And these two totally different worlds, this improv comedy world and this corporate PR marketing world. And I realized the skills that made each successful were quite similar. And one of my clients was Texas Instruments, and they were having this retreat and said, hey, Joel, we know what you do.
Joel?
Yeah, they actually called me by my, it was weird because
They are so good.
they called me by my actual
Your real name.
and which really kind of threw me. I'm like, excuse me? Usually people call me Jeff. So they said Joel, I remember specifically, which is why I worked for them. And so they said, come up and do some of that improv with us. We're having an executive retreat. And it was all VP level. It was a technology group. It was a small group. And, and I took another guy with me and another performer, and we had a ball. The audience enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So the light bulb was kind of flickering on at that point. And then just like anything, you do a great job, someone recommends you, and your name gets passed along, whether your name is Joel or Jeff. And so people called me and said, well, we've got a couple hundred people. Can you come talk about teamwork? And I said, absolutely. And I would go and, whatever. I mean, if they offered me a paperweight with a clock in it,
Yeah.
I was thrilled.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And then 97, I did a little demo video.
Okay.
And once I started sending that out, it just kind of blew up. And it kind of took over my business. And then all of a sudden, I didn't realize it, but I had become a speaker.
So this was really not an intentional path for you.
No, because I didn't even know people spoke for a living. I didn't know there were speaker bureaus. I didn't know that they had these huge conferences, with lights and video. I had no idea. Really, I was very naive. Had no idea that any of this was happening. And so once I kind of started in the world, and just kind of found my way, and I always believed about I was going to talk from the heart. It was going to be organic. I was going to use my improv skills and play improv games with the audience as an interactive, energizing, fun experience. But we were going to talk about the choices that they made and learn from that. And it just always evolved. I never sat down and said, I'm going to write down what I'm going to say, and then I'm going to say this. It just happened. And if I liked what I did or the reaction, I'd say, well, we're going to do that again.
Yeah.
And if I didn't like it, then that would be cut out. But everything was evolving and continues to evolve. I'll say things, all of a sudden, I'll be at a keynote in front of 1,000 people and start talking about something. And I'm like, I don't know where that came from, but that is awesome. And so I should do that again. And in fact, just last week, I was with a group, property management group, and I played a couple games that I never played before with a group.
Okay.
And so it's always evolving, finding that that special experience that the audience is having fun and they're excited and they're engaged, but they're also learning.
So when you're playing the games, do you have some favorite go-tos that you play?
Yeah, I use a lot of different improv games. I probably have 20 to 25. In a typical keynote, I'll use 3 or 4.
Okay.
So if you're thinking of an hour or hour and a half, 3 or 4 is a very short amount of time. They're just really used, as a tool to deliver the messages. They're unique. Most people who come to a conference aren't expecting to play an improvisation game.
Right.
And so they enjoy it, they're engaged, they're open to the message, they retain the message. More importantly, when their best friend, their peer, the manager from a different department gets up there and all of a sudden they're a ballerina on stage or they're standing on a chair trying to imitate a giraffe, or they're in a car on a road trip and they're doing 4 different emotions, they have a vested interest. I'm like, wow, what's happening?
Yeah.
And so that becomes an experience.
Yeah, because they totally relate to it.
They do.
And
Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to have fun.
Yeah.
Even the groups that you think don't want to have fun. I don't just speak to groups that are just jumping off the walls and they're all excited and we're selling and wow, and I can just get up there and go, well, this is what I had for lunch today. I had carrots. Oh my goodness, that carrot speaker was amazing. Certainly I have those groups. I have those audiences. But most of the time, it's a group of, now I'm not trying to disparage anybody, but, maybe accountants or IT or engineers.
Well, more introverted.
Yeah, they're more
professions.
introverted.
Yeah, they're
right. They're not jumping off the, the chairs or what have you. But, everybody wants to play.
Yeah.
They want to have fun, they want to laugh. And I start every presentation, I said, look, we're going to have fun. And if all you get out of the next hour is laughter and enjoying yourself, I'm cool. If that's all you get out of it, there's no better way to spend an hour laughing with your peers, your friends, your colleagues, your team, your partners, whatever type of group it is.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about some awesome choices. And these choices help us be more successful, keep our passion up, and our stress down, how to deal with change more successfully, how to work as a team more successfully. All these are, and as you know, all these are the choices and the messages that improv teaches us.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about that with our audience. So in improv...
Is there an audience? Who's watching this? I mean, my mom might watch it. I'm just wondering. There's a guy walking by.
We have lots of people that will be very interested in what you're saying.
They might have turned it off right there.
Well, the ones that are watching have made the higher percentage choices.
They do.
Yes.
Yes.
And so in improv, there's lower percentage choices and higher percentage choices. So let's talk a little bit about that and let the audience know what your take is on that and how it kind of dovetails into making the right choice and your message to your all of your guys
Well,
and gals that you talk to?
we really want to talk about making great choices and how we work together as a team and how we lead and how we deal with change.
Yes.
And so
that's a
when
big
you
thing.
see 3 or 4 people come up and they play an improv game, they're making choices. And these are the same choices that we have to make in any type of work environment, whether it's a customer
Absolutely.
Environment, whether it's a partner, a vendor, whatever relationship. And we're making these choices because we're always working in a team. We're always helping each other be successful. We're always working in how we communicate to each other,
Yes.
and understanding and being present and in the moment of what's happening, and that helps us make these choices because in the end, we want to be happy, we want to be fulfilled, we want to be rewarded, and we're always searching for that, and these choices help us get there.
So this really is a phenomenon. I mean, you've spoken to over 2,000 audiences.
I have.
And they keep asking you back. I mean, you get a lot of people
do.
that ask you to come back several years in a row, right?
Yes.
So why do you think that they want to continue that relationship with you?
You know what? First, I think you do a great job. If you take care of the customer, just like anything, they're gonna want to create a relationship, a partnership.
Right.
And that's number one. And number two is, I kind of bring a brand. There's lots of speakers that have great messages. Lots of great
Of course.
speakers that have great messages. And now you say, well, I want a speaker with a great message, but I want someone that's fun and funny. I said, well, there's lots of funny people, and there's lots of funny people that speak. Now we say we want funny and we want to have a great message. Now we're talking a lot fewer speakers.
Right.
We say, well, it's funny, it's a great message, but we want it interactive. And now we're just talking about a very few amount.
You're like the
of
one
speakers.
percenters.
Yes. And so, everything's always changing and evolving. If I do these improv games, the bag it's a deep bag. And so I can do these 3 or 4 games in a keynote, and then the next time I come back, we can do 3 or 4 other games. And so it's always different. Even if I do the same game, it's going to be a different outcome because people are excited. They want to have fun. They want to be engaged. And there's just fewer and fewer opportunities for that to happen. And especially when you bring a group of people together. When you have an event, that is people are spending the money or the company's spending the money. You have a finite amount of time.
Right.
There's so much so much that you want to accomplish, but one of the things that you can do as a group that you can't do, on a webinar or a webcast is create that energy with this group of people and have fun and laugh together and, build this momentum and energy. So when they leave, they're ready to, whatever their next thing is, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. And that's, there's certain things that you can do with a group of people and it's exciting and it's empowering and it gets people engaged.
And you talk a lot about fun in the workplace, and you've got obviously a lot of passion around that. So why do you think that having fun is so important in a work environment?
I think fun is, that's a really great question. I mean, my whole career has been based on fun. I mean, even when I was a newspaper reporter, when I went into advertising and PR, I always tried to find the fun. And I talk about in my book, one of my first jobs was at a movie theater.
Okay.
Making below minimum wage, which I'm not sure exactly how that was legal, but I know I was paid below minimum wage.
Did you get tips?
I know,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm sure the statute of limitations is passed, so I think everything's okay. But you're cleaning hot dog machines and you're cleaning up people's trash and you smell like popcorn all 24/7. And so
Yeah, it
you're just
permeates.
trying to find, but I always was trying to find that fun, making it fun, creating that energy, because when you're having fun, I think you're a better team member. You're better with customer service. You're better with sales. You're better with everything. You're just more.
Yeah.
You're more present. You're more in the moment. Everything happens for a reason, and that fun is a huge reason that makes all these other things happen. And I think we don't spend enough time. And fun is different for everybody.
That's true.
And one of the stories I talk about, like if you remember math class, which I'm terrible at math, which is why I'm a speaker. There's no math involved.
Except for your paycheck.
I don't even know.
Okay.
I have an accountant. And but you remember there was always that person, and my daughter's like that, where
Yeah.
she solves a problem And she's excited. That's exciting to solve a math problem. And that's fun for them. And that's awesome. That's not fun for me, but it's fun for them. And so you've got to find what is fun for you. What is it in your day-to-day? You know, when you go home from work and you say, oh man, I had so much fun today. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Then you should write, why was it fun? There were reasons. Something happened that made it fun. And you should write that down. Well, this happened, or somebody said this to me, or this happened, or I was given more responsibility, whatever. Now you've got
what a great
got a plan
exercise
of what you need to work toward.
Yeah, an exercise.
It doesn't happen magically. You know, everybody thinks I'm just gonna sit around and hopefully someone like brings pizza and we're gonna have fun. You know,
this comes from the sky.
Yeah, pizza's fun, but I don't know. You know, after the second or third time, it might not be fun. But you know, it's you've got to be part of the fun. You can't just wait for your manager or your vice president to create the fun. You have to be part of it.
Yeah.
And fun is inclusive. It's about creating an energy and a passion and fulfillment. You know, fun means a lot of different things.
And do you find that when you are talking with the corporate decision makers that they are somewhat taken aback by that word fun? Do you find that they feel it's too fluffy, or did you ever encounter that, or are you?
I think if it gets to the point where you're talking to me, I think you're already interested in fun.
Okay.
I think the companies or groups that aren't interested in fun, I'm not on their radar.
They probably would look
not
at
on their radar. They're like,
and say,
no, thank you. We're just going to talk about PowerPoint presentations, upside down triangles, interlocking circles, and probably the cloud. It's all we've got time for. There's no time for fun. We're very serious. We're serious. We're selling stuff, or making stuff, or distributing stuff, or we're a third-party vendor doing some kind of middleman stuff.
I'm crying.
Well,
so
true.
But that's where a lot of people live every day.
Oh,
and
tell me about it.
I think I'm crying because I'm sad for them.
Look, I actually posted this on one of my social media, and it was right before I was in the back of the room. They're doing my introduction, you know, and everybody's really quiet. Yeah. They really have no idea what's about to happen. I mean, the person who hired me does, but the audience, you know, and they're quiet, and there's no energy in the room because they just, who knows what they just talked about, you know, what kind of
some number
issue
or
whatever. And then I come up, and, you know, I want to bring in that energy. They deserve it. We work very hard. We deserve to have fun.
Yes.
And even if it's just for a short amount of time, just to show us what happens when we have fun and how we work together and what our mindset is and what our tone and what our attitude is, and all that goes right toward the bottom line. And, and if you can't figure that out, you know, I'm trying to help you figure that out, but I can't force you. I can't force anybody. So, but when they call, you know, that's the first step.
And do you customize to their message for the conference?
Yeah, it's all about connecting. You know, when you're trying to make a group of people laugh and you're trying to create this energy and you're getting them way out of their comfort zone. You know, people are playing improv games, and you know, it's not everybody has to play an improv game.
Sure.
You know, it's like if I have 500 people, 9 people are going to come up on stage. And so there's always 9 people that are going to come up on stage, but the audience is still engaged.
Right.
And we do things at their, you know, as a group. And so when you want to connect to that audience, you're expecting them to get out of their comfort zone. It's about, you want to customize, and so they understand that I know you, I care about you, and it's not, I'm going to come in and do the same presentation that I did yesterday. This presentation is for you. Because just like when I mentioned, I talked about those engineers or IT, that's going to be different than a group of salespeople. You know, a group of salespeople, they're going to start here on their energy level. You know, maybe we have a group that starts here, right? But if I get them to here, that's success.
Yeah.
They're never getting here. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. But their fun level is here. And by the way, my hands are moving without any, I have no idea.
You have no
There's
strings
no
attached.
Control of my hands.
No puppeteer back there. Well, so do you have in each one of your presentations key messages that you follow for each one of the presentations?
Yes.
What are those?
Basically, like we talked about the customization. Sometimes clients just want to talk about teamwork or leadership. Sometimes we want to talk about communication or innovation. Sometimes we want to talk about change. And it's figuring out what their sun is, and the other things are planets that revolve around that sun, right? And because they're all so interrelated. And, my key messages are about creating opportunity and positive support. And when you put those two things together, it's amazing what people can accomplish.
Opportunity and positive support. Okay.
Because everybody wants, so we'll just talk about that message first. Everybody, you want to be fulfilled. You want to be rewarded.
Right.
And so, hey, we're doing an interview show. How are you, ladies? It's good. They were looking at me and they felt like the need to.
They were drawn to you.
I was drawn to them.
Yes, like a moth.
I wanted them to be happy. I think one of them called me Jeff, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. They walked by and go, is that Jeff? Is that Jeff the speaker? It is. Anyway, so I don't know if I'm going to get any business from this. But anyway, all right. So opportunity and positive support.
They'll see how fun you are.
Right. So fulfill. We want to be fulfilled. We want to be rewarded. And you want to create this opportunity. We all want different opportunities. Some people want the opportunity for more responsibility, or the opportunity for a different role, or to be creative, or to go to a conference, or to have more training. You got to figure out what makes you happy, what fulfills you. And you're going to be surprised twice. Once by the answer. If you're really honest with yourself, what that opportunity is. It's not more money. We all want more money. That's a given. But what is that opportunity that's going to fulfill you? And if you're really honest, it'll surprise you. And then the next step is to tell your manager, your VP, hey, this is what I need here to be happy. This is what I need here to be fulfilled. And you're going to be surprised how easy it is for them to give you that opportunity. And that's what you need, because if you don't get that opportunity, you're not going to be very happy. And eventually you're going to go find another job.
Right.
I don't care what the economy's like. There's always jobs. They're going to go find something else because we're searching for that happiness. We're searching for that opportunity. And then when we match it with positive support, and I challenge my audiences every day, when you go home from work, think about all the people you had contact with. Your partners, your customers, your clients, your vendors, your team. Did I give the people that deserved it that positive support, that appreciation? And if you didn't, then tomorrow, say thank you. Say I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We want to hear it. And when those two things happen, it's amazing what people can accomplish. And that's really the foundation. I get 3 people that come up on stage. We do an improv game. They're creative, no matter what type of group. They're creative. They work together as a team. They're having fun. They're listening to each other. They're focused. They're helping each other. They're supportive. That's what we all want from our teams. And you're seeing this immediately out of their comfort zone. Why did that happen? Because I gave them the opportunity, and the audience members gave them positive support through laughter and applause. And you put those two things together, it's amazing what people can accomplish.
That is awesome. And are all of those points in your book? I mean, tell us a little bit about
the book.
Make the Right Choice.
This is my book, Claire, or Cindy,
or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, all the messages from my keynote are. And this is your copy.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's called Make the Right Choice.
Yeah. You'll probably sell it in a year.
Status quo, passion, creativity, and apathy.
I think that's just the.
Those are the 4 little road signs that are on the
little
front
road
there.
signs.
Yeah.
You don't want to go the apathy way. You want to go the other way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. You don't want to go status quo way either.
No,
I see,
you don't wanna
because
go that
passion
way.
and creativity are moving forward,
You wanna go that
and
way.
status quo and apathy are moving backwards.
You're making the
Got
choice.
it. Oh, this is amazing.
So all my messages are in the book, and then lots of ideas and exercises that companies or managers can use with their own teams.
So they can actually read the book and directly
I hope so.
apply some. Well, then there's
Does anybody
other
read
institutions-
anymore?
I do. And then they can directly apply
Yes.
some of these
I think
these
that's the
ideas.
point.
Okay, well, good. Not everybody does that.
They don't.
Sometimes
Just
they just
the-
write to see themselves in print.
I know.
But this is something.
I didn't even read this book. I don't even know what it says.
But you wrote it, so you can
But I
kind of
did.
remember.
Yes.
And you speak about it, so you
Yes,
tell
I
people
did.
about it.
I
So
did. It's all my messages in a book format, in a chapter format.
So it's creating a positive, innovative, and productive work life. And
Yeah.
so really humor is the cornerstone of all of these successful techniques that you talk about.
Yeah, using fun and humor as a tool to deliver the message, because when people laugh, they're more open to the message.
Yeah.
They let their guard down a little bit. They're more engaged, and they retain. When you laugh, you remember, and so that's those are my tools. I mean, everybody uses different tools.
Mm-hmm.
I can't juggle, so there's juggling speakers. Like, here's the message. I can't juggle, so I use improv and humor to deliver that message, and it's been very successful.
Well, yeah, and you do it very well. You've demonstrated your ability here on Coffee with Claire in an amazing way.
Well, I hope so. This is just rehearsal, right? We're doing the real takes later.
We'll do the other one next time. Yeah.
We'll
We'll
cut it in post.
So how can our viewers find you?
They through my website.
Okay,
It's just
which
my
is?
name. I hope they use my correct name, joelzeff.com.
Yes, spell it for them. Yeah.
JoelZeff.com. JoelZeff.com. You can find me on LinkedIn or Facebook. Me. Don't friend me, Claire.
Don't friend you,
Yeah,
just like you, just
like
follow
me.
you like
Just,
a stalker.
Yeah, follow, like.
Okay,
No, I'm
I
kidding. You
won't
can
like
friend
you.
me, Claire.
Thank you. Gosh,
You're
I feel
welcome.
so honored.
You're welcome.
Well, Joel,
I was gonna have some coffee, but
Thank
do
you.
people know there's no coffee with Claire?
we offered
The
you something.
show
you
is
said
called
no.
Coffee with Claire. There's no coffee. There's Claire.
We were afraid.
There's a coffee cup, but there's no actual coffee.
We were afraid to put any coffee in your mug, Joel, just so you know.
I hope the viewers know Claire
Don't
has
put that
water.
with that.
Could be vodka, but I'm pretty sure it's water.
Or wine.
There's
it
no
could be,
Claire.
yes.
Yeah, there's no coffee with Claire.
So thank you so much for all of
Thank you, Claire.
our loyal viewers and listeners and
Oh,
watching Coffee
I need a
with
hot
Claire
cup
today.
of coffee.
As always, thank you for
good.
tuning in, and we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Coffee with Claire. To learn more about today's guests, visit their website or find them on Facebook. To learn more about me, Claire Billingsley, follow me on LinkedIn or visit my website at coffeewithclaire.tv. And to hear more episodes of Coffee with Claire, subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast and social media platforms.